guys, welcome back to my channel On My Toes. Today's video is all about the menstrual devices. Pads, tampons or menstrual cups. Which one's best for you? Today, I'm very much excited in creating this video because I'll be letting you know what is menstrual cup, how to use it and how to change your period game forever. Period, menses, menstruation, chums, etc. I ain't ashamed to say these words because I am that strong woman who undergo that physical, natural phenomenon every single month. We live in the world where it is very easy to wear it and be comfortable about it, but miserable to talk about it. Luckily, we live in this world currently with more period products available to us than ever before. But with all those choices, only quarter of the women population know how to use these devices. There are many factors to consider when you start to identify which products is best for your body and your lifestyle. The 5 factors you might want to consider are the cost of the product, the ease on how to use the product, physical activity level, the time efficiency of the product, and lastly, the sustainability. So I will be explaining these 5 factors on each devices so that how can you modify yourself towards a sustainable menstruation. So let's start with simple and a basic one, that's sanitary napkins. A sanitary napkin, a sanitary pad, a menstrual pad or simply a pad is a female hygiene product that is worn externally in the underwear by the females when they are menstruating. I also did a small questionnaire on my social media accounts. I was very happy receiving the response, and also I saw the interest of women that is changing from the older methods to the newer methods. I got to know that most of the women, in fact me also, started our periods with the basic sanitary pads. But I was very happy to know that most of the women opted to have a new option, that's through menstrual cup. Here I would love to show you a graph on how women are most comfortable using their pads during their periods. In this graph, 77.6% of women use sanitary napkins, 20.4% menstrual cups and rest tampons. The next graph shows the problems that have been faced by women by using sanitary napkins. Here you notice that most of the women have suffered leak, that uncomfortable feeling of gush of blood that makes them think to opt a newer option. I agree, and I'm really very happy that most of the women want to try out the new option and also adopt a sustainable menstruation. First one, the cost. In my research, I have noted that a pad was available freely to the most costliest pad what I had seen was 1200 rupees. So quite very expensive, right? So imagine using the pad from your menarche to your menopause. So what is the cost comparatively?
I don't know, but maybe I can buy an expensive car.
Second one, coming to the ease on using the menstrual pad. It is very easy on using a menstrual pad because it's just worn externally. The third one, the physical activity level. I've been suffering with sanitary napkins since my school days because I was never active during those days, and I was not be able to run around or jump around during those days because I had a fear that I might leak. That's one thing. The fourth option, time efficiency. Depending on the menstrual flow, heavy or light, you might want to change. Pad has to be changed several times in 24 hours depending on the menstrual flow, heavy or light. The last one, the sustainability. You all might have noticed that uncomfortable feeling that when you see a pad lying around in the garbage area or on roads, etc. So is that the way that we dispose our sanitary napkins? No, absolutely not. So that is very disturbing in fact. So that is zero sustainability by using disposable menstrual pads. You have a separate option as cloth pads, right? So cloth pads have indeed become a popular alternative because it is allergen and perfume free, where most of the women feel comfortable using the cloth pad and can be more comfortable for people who suffer from rashes or irritations through the disposable napkins. Cloth pads are eco-friendly, and how many of you girls agree that cloth pad is extremely comfortable. And also let me know your opinions in the comment section below that how often you change the cloth pads, because when I started my menarche, I started using cloth pads only, but I was damn too lazy to wash them. So it is very disturbing for me to see the blood in that age. I'm a doctor, but still I was feeling very disgusted because I had to see a lot of blood in that point of time where I had to wash those clothes. So I never felt comfortable in those cloth pads. So please let me know if you are really comfortable in using the cloth pads. And also working women, where will they have time to wash them? So I don't think so it feels good to use cloth pads, but please let me know your opinions. Here I want to stress upon on something very important, and I want to tell you all the importance of disposable sanitary napkins that's currently inside the market. These napkins are the absorbent items worn even during, right after the childbirth, recovering from gynecological surgery, experiencing a miscarriage, or any other situation where it is really necessary to absorb the flow of the blood from the vagina. So let us not underestimate a sanitary napkin, because in such cases it is extremely important, because I have gone through this and I know that how sanitary napkins were really important for me at that point of time. Depending on the flow, you might have many options on sanitary napkins. You all would have been aware of it. Like example, a basic sanitary napkin which can be used in a day. Next thing, a night sanitary napkin where the wings would be larger and you have a larger area of coverage. Next, a simple sanitary napkin which has a synthetic covering which is not cotton, and this might cause little rashes and irritation in some women. And also the last one is a small panty liner. This again comes in a small packet which covers only that particular area where you might have little spotting. Women to find the difference between the sanitary napkins as well. So if you are a woman who experience lot of rashes and irritations during your periods by using the sanitary napkins, what you could do is, instead of buying a synthetic sanitary napkin, I'll just show you I'll just zoom it to you. This is a synthetic sanitary napkin where you have lot of plastic kind of a material with lot of pores inside it. So this is synthetic material. So this might cause you a regular rash or sometimes even yeast infections or boils. So this might be the culprit because it has a good smell and also the material is kind of a rayon material. Next thing, if you are very vulnerable to infections, what I would like to tell you is you use a sanitary napkin with a cotton cover. So I'll just open this and show it to you. So this is extremely different than this. I'll just zoom it. So this has some pores and a rayon kind of a material, but this has a cotton layer, extremely soft, and this is quite really expensive than compared to the regular rayon sanitary napkins. So I would like to suggest that whoever is comfortable for the sanitary napkins, I would like to suggest to go with the cotton covering rather than a rayon covering sanitary napkin. So this is quite a little expensive again, so if you are okay with this, you can use it. So that's all about sanitary napkins. I'm explaining you one by one all the menstrual devices just because I want you to know the difference between each menstrual devices and how you can change from sanitary napkins to tampons, tampons to menstrual cups, because that change I personally suggest has to be there. The next device is the tampons. Tampons is also one of the feminine hygiene products designed to absorb the menstrual flow by insertion into the vagina during the menstruation. Unlike sanitary napkins, it is a device that is placed inside the vaginal canal. When I surveyed some beautiful women, so they are less likely have used tampons. So I will put up a graph here. Here in this graph, we do notice that only 10.2% of women have used tampons. The next graph shows the problems that have been faced by the tampon usage. So, most of them find it difficult in inserting the tampon inside the vaginal canal. So, this is a major problem that they hesitated to try the tampons. Let me tell you, there are two types of tampons. So first one is digitally inserting the tampon.
Digitally means not that digital technology kind of a thing.
Digitally means digital, using your finger. So digitally you can insert a tampon. Second one, you get the tampon applicators. Leave up an image here. You insert the tampon inside the applicator and you use the applicator into the vaginal canal to leave the tampon in the place. So I would like to show you a tampon sample. So these are the tampons that I had bought for myself a long time ago, in fact. So you might be wondering that I am a menstrual cup user, then why I have bought these tampons. So let me show you. I have used complete one box of tampons and probably 2 or 3 lying around in some of my bags. So these 2 boxes are my first and the last purchase of the tampons, because after this I switched on to the menstrual cup. So let me show you what are the differences between these two boxes. So the first one, the box which is horizontally large, this has 20 tampons in number and it says tampons regular. So that is nothing but these tampons are little smaller and is designed to absorb regular flow. So here when I open this, I do find the instructions leaflet, and yes, I have one tampon left here. So this is your tampon. This is like a bullet shaped tampon. So how to use this tampon? So this tampon is nothing but you have a plastic covering. Basically you have to twist this tampon to break the seal. Twist the tampon to break the seal. It is sterile inside. Take out this covering and here you have a small thread. So this thread you'll have to open it up like this and also move this around so that you make enough space for the finger. Now you stand in a comfortable position. Also you'll have to push this inside a vagina until this length so that the string only comes out. This is how a tampon looks. So once you start bleeding, this will absorb all the menstrual blood and also it swells up in size. So stand in a comfortable position, relax your vaginal muscles, and then this is how you insert a tampon and leave this thread outside. So once you're done with the bleeding and you feel that there's some amount of blood leaking, what you could do is again wash your hands thoroughly, then pull out this tampon by the thread, and that's it. Put it in a cover and discard it. So that's how you use a tampon. Next box. This box is also the same company, but what happens is here it says super. So this is for the regular flow and this is for a heavy flow. So the difference between this box tampons and this one is nothing but a little change in size. The size is little larger, the circumference is little larger when compared to the previous tampon. In addition to your menstrual flow, tampons absorb your vagina's natural lubricant and also the bacterias. Introducing a foreign object inside the vagina may disrupt the pH balance of the canal and thus causing irritation and discomfort. Let's compare the tampons to the 5 factors. So the first one is the cost of the product. So this AB Pro Comfort tampons will cost me around, it is of 10 in number, and this costed me around 128 rupees. So yeah, but again the disposable method is similar to that of pad. There is nothing changed, where you can see pads lying around. Instead of pads you will see tampons lying around. So it is not eco-friendly. So that's the reason I also wanted to cut down on usage of tampons. Second factor, ease on using the product. So through the graph I got to know that many people had little difficulty in inserting the tampons. So I have shown you how to insert a tampon that way. So what you might do is, instead of inserting a larger tampons like a super absorbent tampons, what you could do is you can use applicators. You do get tampon applicators inside the market. You get a disposable tampon applicator and also you get a reusable tampon applicator made up of plastic. So these two can help you insert the tampon as well. The third one, the physical activity level. Of course, the physical activity level builds up. Of course, the physical activity level will be increased because you can run around, you can jump. Also, I have seen most of the swimmers using the tampons. So yes, physical activity level is absolutely fine in this. Fourth one, the time efficiency. The time efficiency, this tampons can be used from 6 to 7 hours. It has to be changed every 6 hours or every 7 hours once. So again, the time efficiency is little less, but it keeps you really comfortable. The last one, sustainability. You might end up using very less tampons when compared to pad, but the disposal method of the tampons is similar to that of pads. For some women, the tampons and the menstrual cups are more difficult to insert, but these difficulties can be solved by educating about your own body and insertion techniques. Since my menarche, I was told to use only napkins, sanitary napkins, and that worked kind of okay to me, but I still suffered many of the consequences like leak and uncomfortable feeling. And yes, after my marriage, I switched on to tampons because even I was that little girl who was brought up on sanitary napkins, extremely scared to try something new. So what I did was I initially switched on to tampons soon after my wedding. I started using tampons for almost approximately 1 to 3 cycles after my wedding, and I started feeling extremely comfortable. I had that lot of freedom to move around and being more comfortable during my periods after use tampons. But still, I wasn't happy about the method that I used to dispose the tampons because I used to buy the small black covers from the shops so that I could put those used tampons inside the cover and then dispose it. Again, I used to find it little difficult to throw them out. So throwing away tampons in that way is no less awkward than compared to the pads. Thus, the curiosity cat in me was always wanting to try a menstrual cup. Hence, I gave it a shot to try the menstrual cup. So that's where my period game changed completely. So I'm very much excited to tell about menstrual cups. So coming to menstrual cups. Menstrual cup is again a feminine menstrual device inserted inside the vaginal canal during the menstruation. Its basic purpose is to collect fluid and prevent leaking. Menstrual cup are usually made of flexible medical grade silicone, latex, thermoplastic isomer.
Too much information. Stressing about so many things here because I still want you guys to know what is best for you.
So, I do have a 2 menstrual cup. This is my first cup and this is my second cup. So, this cup I bought it from She Cup maybe. I'll just see the description leaflet. So, I will leave the links to all these menstrual devices in my description box below. So, this one is my first menstrual cup and this looks like this. So, one second, I'll open this. This one is my second menstrual cup from the brand Wow. It's called Wow Skin Science. So yeah, so these are my 2 menstrual cups. So these are my 2 menstrual cups currently what I own. This is shaped like a bell and it has a stem where the stem is used to insert the cup inside the vaginal canal and also remove. So this helps you in holding the cup. The bell shaped cup seals against the vaginal wall just below the cervix so that it can prevent leak. Every 6 to 12 hours, depending on the amount of flow, the cup has to be removed, emptied, rinsed and reinserted. Unlike the menstrual pads and tampons, the cup only collects the menstrual fluid and doesn't absorb the fluid. So in my survey, I found that most of the women are really interested in using a menstrual cup. So let me show you the graph. This graph, we do notice that 71.4% of women have not used the menstrual cup. In this graph, most of the women, that's 51% of women, wanted to try a menstrual cup. It's time to change. I know that even I was being brought up by using menstrual pads. In fact, I was also told to use cloth kind of a thing that I had to used during my menarche, and that was really uncomfortable. Probably that kind of stigma towards period had stuck into my head, and that's the reason I wanted badly to switch on to the menstrual cups. So I'll show you how to use this. So this is most important. First one, wash your hands thoroughly. That's the first thing I want to tell everyone, whoever uses pads, tampons, etc., whatever the devices you use. The most important that you do is first wash your hands thoroughly. So there are a lot of ways to fold the cup and insert the cup inside the vagina. So I will show you the types of folds that can be done and inserted. So after that, I would suggest you what would be comfortable for you guys. Let me show you. So first thing is a C-shaped fold. So you can just press this and fold it this way. So this is a C-shaped fold. It's in the form of C. That's a C-shaped fold, and you have to pop it inside the vagina, and that slowly opens. So that is how you insert in C shape. If you are not comfortable with this, then the second fold is called as punch down fold. Punch it down like this, hold it. So this has a very narrow edge, so you can insert it again inside the vaginal canal, push it, and there it goes, it opens up. So this is again the punch down fold. Coming to the third fold, the 7-fold. The 7-fold is nothing but you push this and fold it in this form. It's in the shape 7. So this also you can insert it, push it completely, then leave it for it to open. So that is how you insert the menstrual cup. Being honest here, punch down fold is much easier than compared to the other two folds. So also this has a narrow shape so that you can just insert the cup like this and leave it so that it sits properly just below the cervix. My advice to all girls is, before you start using the menstrual cup, get comfortable with tampons. So once you start relaxing the surrounding muscles, then you will be able to insert the cup very easily. So you have inserted the cup inside the vagina. It is popped open. So after insertion, you'll have to check whether it is correctly inserted or not. So what you do is, so just run your finger around to the menstrual cup so that you feel that there is no fold. Then if possible, if you can push it, you push it little further. Otherwise, not required. Once inserted, the menstrual blood should not leak and it shouldn't cause any discomfort whether you sit, jump or move around. After 6 to 12 hours of use, depending on the amount of menstrual flow, you have to empty the cup. So how do you empty the cup? Again, thoroughly wash your hands. You should never try to pull this because there's a tight vacuum seal that is already sealed up inside the vaginal walls inside. So what you should do is explore from your help of your stomach muscles, push the cup little downwards, then insert one small finger so that you press the cup so that it removes the seal, and you try folding the cup and also get it out in the similar way that you had inserted it. That's how the spillage do not occur. Most important, you can use the cup for overnight protection also. So let's compare the menstrual cup with our 5 factors. First one, the cost. This is before my baby was born and this cup is after my baby was born. So you'll have to do a one-time investment. That's it. And a cup approximately cost you from rupees 200 to 600. That's it. And you can use the cups well maintained up to 10 years. You don't have to throw the cups again and again. You do find disposable menstrual cups, but probably I haven't come across them anywhere else. Otherwise I would have got it to you and showed. And I will let you know the differences between these two cups also. Factor section, let's come to the second one, the ease of using. It's little difficult unless and until you get practiced. So that's the reason I told you to try the tampons first, then use a menstrual cup. So let's coming to the third one. So the third option is nothing but the physical activity level. In physical activity level, you can do any single work that you would like to do. So you might not restrict yourself for any single thing. So jump around, walk around, run around, swim, do anything. The menstrual blood will not spill from the cup if correctly inserted. Fourth factor, time efficiency. Depending on the flow you have, heavy or light, it can be removed after 6 hours if the flow is heavy. If the flow is light, like on the third day or the fourth day, you can use it for 12 complete hours. You might need not change it for 12 complete hours. So yes, it's great in that way. Last, sustainability. It's absolutely eco-friendly, a one-time investment, and also a low-cost investment. And probably I have never seen any menstrual cup lying around, and you might end up using this for 10 years also, but still after 10 years you might dispose it. So imagine the amount of pads you dispose or the tampons you dispose for 10 years and disposing one menstrual cup in once in 10 years. So that's how it is absolutely sustainable. You might have the questions of which size menstrual cup to use. So what I do have some measurements indicator as well. Here it is 6 ml and 12 ml. The first cup, which was a medium in size. This cup is also medium in size and depends on the brands also. So what you do is, instead of buying one single cup of small size, I suggest you to buy 2 cups of one medium size and one large size. Cup size also has a few factors that you have to consider before buying a cup. So the factors are age, length of the cervix, the flow, either heavy or light, flexibility and firmness of the cup, capacity of the cup, strength of the pelvic floor muscles, and whether the woman has given vaginal birth or no. So these are the factors that you would want to consider before buying a cup. Usually when I did a research, it stated that a smaller cup was usually suggested for the women below 30 years and who has not given birth vaginally. Larger cups or the medium cups were suggested for the women who are above 30 years and who have delivered vaginally. So my take on the size of the cup is nothing but I bought both of these cups soon after my wedding. So even I was a little skeptical on which size would fit me. So what I did was I bought same size cup from the different companies. So this company was a Sheep cup and this company was a Wow. So what I did is I bought similar size, that's a medium size. So the medium size in Sheep cup is quite sturdy and firm silicone. Here in this brand you have a lot of soft silicone. And also ladies, my personal suggestion by buying cups is nothing but, instead of buying cups with stems like this, you have lot of ridges here. So that ridges might irritate you very badly. In case you buy the similar cup with the ridges, what you can do is you can just cut these ridges off. So what I suggest you girls is, please buy a menstrual cup which has no ridge. Let it be little soft, let it be little round in shape instead of having a sharp edge shape. So please buy a cup with such edge but not this, because this will end up irritating you so badly. We'll leave the link of this cup in the description box below. My extra advice to you all ladies is, first one, sterilize your menstrual cups. You have to sterilize the menstrual cups once in a month, is absolutely necessary. Please do sterilize your cup before you start your periods. How do you sterilize the cup? So you'll have to keep a vessel on a gas stove, boil the water, take the water up to 100 degrees centigrade and then put this cup inside the boiling water. So at least for 10 to 15 minutes I suggest you to boil the cup and then start using it. After the usage, please do sterilize the cup again and also please dry out the cup completely. After the drying of the cup only, you'll have to put it inside the box or put it in a cotton cover and set it aside. Next advice is, please do not use public toilets to empty the menstrual cup. It also has time is up to 12 hours. Please do consider it coming home or going to your safe best place and then empty the menstrual cup. So menstrual cups can be acceptable in the high income, low income, middle income groups also. However, provision of information, training and follow up on correct use might be required. And also ladies, it's absolutely not embarrassing at all to tell you that yes, I have been a victim of leak, stained clothes and have cried alone many a times because of that embarrassment. This was the experience during my school days and college days. This embarrassment was all because though I had many times asked this to people were not really ready to educate me about the menstrual cycle. This was a topic that was not spoken. All that I got to know about the menstrual cycle is from my school, my teachers, and that day when I personally experienced it. So let's not do this mistake with our daughters. Let's educate them early. And also to all the ladies who have sons, I would like to tell them that please do educate your sons regarding the same so that they will grow up as a better men in our society. If you ladies are really uncomfortable using menstrual cups, I suggest you to use a menstrual cup with a panty liner. So these panty liners are nothing but they are a smaller versions of the pads. So this is hardly a size of my palm, and this is again the cotton one, not the rayon one. You're really doubtful in using the menstrual cups alone. You can also wear a small panty liners. I am 100% confident enough to tell you that definitely you will not experience leak. Teaching boys about menstruation and other facts related to female sexual health promotes communication, lessens stigma, creates more empathy. Not having these conversations between boys and girls at an early age can have a large impact. Teaching boys and men how period and menstrual cycle works will give a better understanding on the importance and practicalities of safe sex and contraception. It will also better equip them for understanding a woman and her problems. We'll also link up on another video. Please do watch it. And so that's all about today's video about the menstrual devices. I hope I did motivate you all to use the menstrual cup and adopt a sustainable menstruation. Please be free to ask your doubts in the comment section. If not, please do mail me. I have left my email ID in the description account below, or else please do send direct messages /DM into my Instagram, so I will be able to answer any of your doubts. So in my questionnaire, I found out a lot of people are having issues with the period cramps. Menstrual cup is definitely not a permanent solution for period cramps. So the best thing that you could do is please do consult your gynecologist, because there might be some underlying conditions also. So she could be the best person that you could go for the treatment. So that's all about today's video. If you like the video, please do give a big thumbs up. Share the video because it's really informative. Please do subscribe to my channel, and also do not forget to press the bell icon so whenever I upload a video, you will get notified. Thank you so much for watching. See you until next time.